What is the role of government and how far should its power extend? In Wealth of Nations, Adam Smith provides a simple framework for answering this question, which I intend to explain in this episode. As voters, it's important that we have a basic understanding of what the role of government should be, since how we vote determines policy, and policy affects all of our freedoms and financial security. Smith says government has three primary functions. These are, first, the duty of protecting the society from the violence and invasion of other independent societies. Secondly, the duty of protecting, as far as possible, every member of the society from the injustice or oppression of every other member of it, or the duty of establishing an exact administration of justice. And thirdly, the duty of erecting and maintaining certain public works and certain public institutions, which it can never be for the interest of any individual or small number of individuals to erect and maintain. So to reiterate, Smith says the three primary functions of government are national defense, administration of justice, and the erection of public works and institutions that benefit society but would not otherwise be provided by private markets. And what's notable here is that managing the economy is not one of government's three core duties. By providing defense, justice, and certain public infrastructure and institutions, government creates the basic conditions in which economic life can flourish, but it is the people themselves who actually drive the economy. And it's the people who drive the economy because when they're left free to act in their own interest, they naturally desire to increase their own wealth and security, and through doing so, they increase the wealth of society as a whole. Smith writes that the natural effort of every individual to better his own condition when suffered to exert itself with freedom and security is so powerful a principle that it is alone and without any assistance not only capable of carrying on the society to wealth and prosperity, but of surmounting 100 impertinent obstructions with which the folly of human laws too often encumbers its operations. This phenomenon, that people naturally pursuing their own interest incidentally pursue the interest of society at large, is what Smith famously describes as the invisible hand. For example, a farmer doesn't grow crops out of concern for society, he does so to earn a living. Yet in the process, he feeds the public. Likewise, a car manufacturer doesn't build cars to help people travel, he does it to make a profit. Yet in doing so, he produces an enormously valuable method of transportation for others. Private interest, when operating in a free and lawful system, creates public benefit. And individuals are the best judges for how to use their time, money, and resources to maximize their profit, rather than a politician or administrator doing it for them on their behalf. Smith writes, "What is the species of domestic industry which his capital can employ, and of which the produce is likely to be of the greatest value? Every individual, it is evident, can in his local situation judge better than any statesman or lawgiver can do for him." For this simple reason, any government intervention in the economy made to increase the wealth of society tends to actually diminish it rather than increase it. Trump's tariffs are a good recent example of government intervention in the economy. Perhaps the biggest argument in favor of tariffs is that they allow domestic producers to better compete, which preserves local industries and creates or protects American jobs. And that benefit is indeed real. With tariffs in place, domestic industries are protected, which creates more jobs here in America and preserves some jobs that otherwise would have been lost. But as Smith reminds us, it is the maxim of every prudent master of a family never to attempt to make at home what it will cost him more to make than to buy. In other words, if a foreign country can produce a good at a lower cost, then forcing it to be made here domestically means the entire society must now pay a higher price for that good. And there are other hidden costs that offset any domestic job gains that are made as a result of the tariffs. Businesses that use the tariffed good as an input to their own production now face higher costs, which leads to fewer jobs in those industries. Additionally, capital and labor from other industries are pulled into the industry that is protected because the profits in this industry are artificially high. This is an inefficient transfer of wealth and labor that would not have otherwise happened if policy did not intervene. So tariffs do create some jobs, but they destroy others, raise prices, and ultimately lead to weaker capital efficiency in the economy. Now, there may be special cases, such as national security using the tariffs as a negotiating tactic, or in the cases of negative externalities like pollution, where economic intervention by government can be debated on other grounds. But Smith's point is that when we look strictly at economic efficiency and output, government intervention almost always reduces rather than increases productivity. The takeaway is that the next time you come across a government policy that intervenes in the economy for the purpose of increasing the wealth of society, I encourage you to be very skeptical and to carefully analyze what its effects are likely to be. For Smith, the father of economics, the best system is one in which government limits itself to its three essential duties, which are national defense, administration of justice, and the erection of necessary public works, which provide a secure environment where individuals can operate freely within the markets that they create. And history has shown that this system leads to the greatest economic output and the highest standards of living for all of the individuals in these societies which enjoy this system of government. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that you were able to come away from this video with a framework for how to think about government and its role in our society. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, as I love to hear your feedback and to get a discussion going. And if you're interested in learning more about philosophy or the economy and how the ideas from these ancient books still apply today, then make sure to follow along, and I hope to see you in the next episode.